Ladies and gentlemen, the Blockchain Brew Show is loading, and we are excited for you. We're so excited, we're going to skip about 50 seconds for you.
In crypto, speed matters, but trust matters more. At Caleb and Brown, you're never on your own. We connect you with your own personal broker and a 24/7 team, ready to help you buy, sell, or swap over 250 digital assets with one flat, transparent fee. No spreads, no slippage, no hidden costs. Get the best market prices through deep, aggregated liquidity executed by our professional trading desk. Your funds are secured with institutional-grade cold storage for total peace of mind. Track every move in real time with our intuitive client portal, anywhere, anytime. Whether you're trading as an individual, trust, or business, we give you speed, security, and peace of mind. Thousands of clients in over 100 countries already trust Caleb and Brown. Visit calebandbrown.com and start your personalized crypto journey today.
Disclaimer, this is not financial advice. We are not liable for any financial decisions. Thank you. I don't have my my banners up, guys. I still broken. Welcome in, guys, to another episode of Blockchain Brew Show. We are your hosts, me and Taylor Swift in that corner on that desk next to that bottle of whiskey. And please smash that golden like button if you like that setup. If you don't like it, smash it down. We'll bring Trent back on. Let's go, guys. Hey, smash it like that.
Hey, if you dislike it, it gives us the same engagement. So, you know.
I also have the subscribe bell right here. We ring a ding ding, we ring a ding ding, and you can find the bell over there on YouTube. And we have to ask because it's the only way to grow on YouTube sometimes. It's not my favorite thing to do. And then growing's great, but I don't like asking. And over there on Kick and Rumble, we just grow naturally. It's fantastic. We have a wonderful Rumble community. I am taking you guys under my wing, and I will cherish each and every one of you. And YouTube people, you guys are all on Trent's team. All right, let's go. I'm just kidding, guys. I got a Deschutes today. I've been sipping on it. It's gonna do okay, and all right. I really do like it. It's not bad. We're running about 6.5%. It's super citrusy, super tropical, and not overly crisp, just enough hint of crispness to it. What's up, CT? How you doing, brother? The last government shutdown was around December 10th, 2018, the last real low. Can we talk about that? LO apps are freaking lootly. I'll just touch on that real quick. I don't think we'll actually have a shutdown because the last time Trump was in office and there was a shutdown, nobody knows this, but he put in an amendment. I think it was like 200 and 102.13. And in that amendment, it says if this ever happens again, he has the right to be able to fire every single buddy that he wants to fire. And then this is his layman terms. And so if there is a thing that is shut down, Trump will lay down the law and fire every single swampy. And I don't think they want that. I think they will avoid it. Yeah,
it's very possible. I mean, I don't know. I have to treat it like it's a possibility, and I have to trade it like it's a possibility, So I don't know, but we'll get in. We'll talk about it.
I did find something in the garbage today, guys. I can't wait to show you, but I might show you tomorrow because I'm still trying to figure out how not to spill it. I might be able to just pull it up on eBay or Amazon because it is kind of cool, but I don't want to spill it. What do you got today to drink, Trent? Oh, also, I'm running a little late, guys, so because I worked 14 hours today, so I probably won't stay on very long. All I've had today is 2 apples and 2 granola bars and a Coke. So I might go get some water.
There you go.
There's food.
Hey, there's water and beer. So today I'm bringing you guys Foggiest Window from Monkish Brewing Company. This is a triple dry hop hazy double IPA coming in at 8.1% even. We got our ASMR pop.
Pop it like a Taylor Swift.
And
you know, we got a few. We have a true fan right. He gets musical with his popping.
Here's the pour.
I'm in your boat, Ted. Gross. Nobody wants to date him.
Head always says that about the hazy IPA. He's not saying that about Taylor Swift. I mean, he might think that too, but you know.
Well, he's definitely saying that about Taylor Swift. Did you see that the new guy that they announced for the NFL, Trent, is like a cross-dresser man that likes to sing woke songs all the time? I guess I found out only half of his songs are in English. Someone told me.
Looks like orange juice. Yeah, man.
You don't like orange juice?
It's look on the palate. It's like a blast of creamy, viscous tangerine. It's like you mixed some tangerine juice. That's okay. It's like you mixed some tangerine juice with a little bit of just a splash of milk and a bunch of hops. You know. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna pull this a little bit differently because I can't stay super late. I still hold, or believe no, actually, like IPAs. I still hold the belief that no one actually likes IPAs happy. Really? You really think that nobody likes IPAs? No, nobody likes like Bud Light. That stuff's gross.
My wife thinks it tastes like cat pee. How someone knows what cat pee tastes like, I don't know. But
you know, I think I know what cat pee probably tastes like because you know my cat boxes people throw out in the garbage and it's unbagged and just like in your face. You're like, that's gross.
Yeah.
You know, I smell it up. And when sometimes you smell it, you can like taste it on your palate.
That's true.
I got to
buy
them at a bar one time. Couldn't even finish them. Really? Man. We're gonna take a look at the liquidation map, Trent.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm so disappointed in Bitcoin. It was supposed to not go pump till today and not late last night and create a CME gap, which, by the way, this is a little bit below the CME gap. Actually, the CME gap is probably right here, Trent.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a little bit of leverages. We have about 110 and 130, which we might come back down there and get that at some point. Right now, we're those guys are done. Those guys are so toast. If I was those guys, I would just close it out and count my losses. They're going bye-bye. Sorry, shorts. You guys are going bye-bye. So we got 200 million around 108. CME gap at 110. If we go to 110 and fill it, do you think we'll go down there and liquidate those longs, Trent? Probably, yes.
Well, there's $15 billion worth of long liquidations up at $120,000. Guys, when we dropped down to 109 this last time, we actually bottomed at we wicked to 108 and change. There were $3 billion.
Oh yeah, we'll take a look at Cookie.
There were $3 billion worth of longs that got liquidated. Sorry, I meant to say shorts at first. Okay, there's $15 billion worth of shorts to be liquidated up at $120,000, right? When we wicked down to 108.2 or so, there was $3 billion worth of longs liquidated. So there's 5 times more longs to be liquidated to the upside than there were when we wicked down to 108.2. So, you know, that's telling me, guys, we're gonna pop. We may go down and fill this CME gap first, But
And we'll
what's
go to
111?
165.
Who cares?
No, very solid, 165. Calvin, you should take a picture of what you had, man, at that brewery and post in the Discord. I'd love to take a look at your can art, what your alcohol percent is. See if you're a lightweight. See if I can figure it out from just what you drank. Currently in September, we're in the second best September we've ever had as of this moment, Trent, because we're at 6.05, and currently the second best was 6.04, so we're just barely up. But hey, we take that. Tomorrow is the last day of a month and the quarter, so then we start heading to October, guys. Then we'll get the $3 cardano on the table. Right now, here's a quarter. For Ethereum, we're at 69.11%, and Bitcoin is 7%. So, if you look at the previous quarter 47, 56, that was the bear market. That was not super great. That's 5%. But in 2020, that was really good. That was really good. Actually, I think, that was really good. That's interesting. We pumped really hard that month or quarter. 2017, we crushed it. So, guys, Q4 is going to be phenomenal. Q4 does go into January. Just entered a BT short, stop loss at 115.420. The first target, stop loss at 115. First target 113.369. Price currently getting rejected on the 4-hour candle. September. Any thoughts? Well, I will have Trent jump into that, Joe, if I don't have time, and give you his thoughts, because I want to jump over to Cookie real fast and cover Cookie real quick, because I don't have super long time. 100% lightweight. Oh my goodness. I went to my buddy's place in Utah, and I brought over 2 margarita cans, and they were both 14%. I used to drink 2 of them to get a buzz. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know if I should brag about that or not, but it's so funny because he's like 6'3" and like 280. I'm like, here, have one of these. He goes, oh, it's too strong for me. I'm like, really? I'll have 2 of them. I'll feel just fine. Oh no, Trent, you're frozen. Oh, you're not frozen. You were frozen. I can't tell if you were frozen or not, because your face was like stone cold lockjaw. Cookie. Cookie, you want long term or short term on Cookie? CT. We're in a falling or rising wedge. High. Slightly higher, almost like a double top. We have anchor trigger wave to the downside, Stokes RSI strength coming down. Money flow's been coming down in the 1 hour. Jump into a longer time frame. We have been having momentum to the upside. Stokes RSI are low. VWAP is coming down. And Cookie's beating pretty bad. Bad. Let's jump to the daily. Daily, we have a double green dot. We don't have bullish divergence. It's saying it wants to go up, but the VWAP is above the 0 line, but it's not super strong. So I'm trying to decide if it has like another day or 2 left. I have to probably go into a different time frame. Look at Stokes RSI is about as low as it can go, though. Where are we at? And it's in a very, very strong push down pattern. Excuse me. If I was going to buy it, this would be a good time to buy. I don't know if we bottom yet, or if this is the bottom over here at 8.8, so we might come down a little lower. I think this is a good range to DCA in, though. You jump in the 2-day. The 2-day is showing momentum to where it wants to break up. The 4-hour mixed signals. Red dot, green dot, red dot, green dot. Strength kind of trying to break out. Strokes are trying to come up. That's weird looking momentum right there. I'm trying to figure out. I don't think it's gonna break out yet. I think we still have like a little bit of time left on it. I'll give it like what the daily say, 12 hours, 16 hour, a couple, maybe like a day and a half, which puts us right near the Wednesday, because I've been saying Wednesday's gonna be the big day for a lot of stuff to go up because of the monthly and quarterly close. And then Joe entered a short on BTC. I want to see what I think on Joe's short. Oh no, Joe, you traded against the trend.
He's scalping against the trend. That's okay.
Yeah. I was gonna say it does look like a little bit of a peaky we got going on. We got the red dot momentum to the downside. Money flow has been really thick, and the VWAP's not giving us any signals. But Stokes RSI strength also super high, super high. We have a green dot in the 15-minute, which is saying it is not coming down the next 15 minutes. So Market Cypress saying VWAP's breaking up, money flow's coming in, strength's going good. Stokes and RSI are doing well. As well.
I like it. Psychologically, I just don't like to short. When it comes time to really start shorting, I plan on shorting the hell out of something that I hate, like Polkadot.
What was I gonna say? The 15-minute, I think actually looks good. Now, if this green dot fades out, then it has not confirmed yet. Then I would agree with you. 24-minute also has green dot. Smaller time frame shows momentum. A market cycle can still continuation to the upside.
I'm gonna try to make $100,000 next year just shorting Polkadot, and then I'm gonna make a video and title it "I made $100,000 shorting Polkadot."
30-minute though, we have a red dot, Joe, and we also have bearish divergence on the 30-minute. So I'd be watching like the 15-minute and the 6-minute, see if that would give you the strength. But yet again, you kind of have to go with what you got, man. Bearish divergence red dot to the downside, money flow coming down. Bitcoin RSI is trying to correct. We'll see. I know that's what I seen too. Like the bearish divergence wants it to go down, but the smaller time frames are looking bullish. So you kind of have to. I would have to wait and see before I entered it, just because I'm not sure. But generally, if you short rising wedges, you're going to be right more often than you're wrong.
Yeah.
Well, you want to take over, Trent?
Yeah. So I'm going to change my banner down here to the news real quick.
I have to figure out how to log out, Trent, and log back in, because I tried to log in and I couldn't log back in, so I had to go through the email. I portaled through it again. Okay.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Because we are fabulous. Oh, Trent. Should I cover my favorite segment before I have to go?
No, I'll do it where it fits actually during the TA. So
yeah.
All right. You want to sign yourself off?
I was gonna stick around for.
Oh, okay.
10 more minutes.
Okay, sounds good. So I'm gonna take it away with the news. So a couple things, and I will also say what I think about your trade during the TA, Joe. But oh, by the way, guys, if anyone does not know who Trade Intuition is in the chat, that's our good friend Joe on the channel. Go follow him over at Trade Intuition on YouTube. He's got a couple thousand subs, and he's come on our show and and helped us out. And so everyone go return the favor and go over there and sub on his channel. So take it away with the news. Let me share my screen here.
News.
Let's see.
Well, I think, Joe, that short that you did will play out more often than not, and I think I think that's a good short. I do, for a scalp. I'm just not convinced that the 6-minute won't roll over, but when I go to the smaller time frame, there's a chance it will make a trigger wave to the downside, which is what you saw using your sophisticated arts.
So, U.S. government shutdown risk at 66%. Crypto faces turbulence as deadline nears. The risk of U.S. government shutdown before October 1st looms over the global financial markets, including crypto. The probability of a shutdown has risen to 66% on Polymarket, reflecting investors' growing concerns. In this context, experts suggest that the market could see both short-term sell-offs and strong recovery opportunities once liquidity returns. 66% probability of a U.S. government shutdown. The likelihood of a shutdown before October 1st is drawing increasing attention as budget disagreements between Congress and the White House remain unresolved. Historically, the U.S. has faced multiple shutdowns. Well, guys, why is it that we shut down so much? Like if a business just randomly shut down.
It's a paid vacation for them. That's what they usually take it as.
If a business like randomly shut down on people, it would lose business. It would lose the trust of its patrons. You know, like let's apply the same standards here. The likelihood of a shutdown before October 1, disagreements. Historically, the U.S. has faced multiple shutdowns, with the longest lasting 35 days from late 2018 to early 2019. That would really not be good. However, you know what? I call me crazy. I think that we would shake it off after a couple weeks. Each time, shutdowns have negatively impacted market sentiment and the economy. The current situation is notable because inflation remains elevated and the Federal Reserve has yet to loosen monetary policy, meaning a shutdown could exacerbate economic uncertainty. When the budget isn't passed, many federal agencies are forced to temporarily halt operations, disrupting government activity and amplifying political risk. This factor typically pressures risk assets from equities to crypto. For crypto investors, a shutdown affects asset prices in the short term and delays regulatory reviews and decision making. In other words, while Congress and the government focus on budget issues, crypto-related policy initiatives will likely remain on hold. You know, the Grayscale Cardano ETF. Guys, if you don't know, I'm the resident Cardano nerd here on the Blockchain Brew Show. The Grayscale Cardano ETF is, scheduled for approval or denial on October 7th. So some kind of extended shutdown would literally, this is just so ironic, it's not even funny. Because these upcoming dates for ETF decisions, these are the final decisions. The SEC cannot delay them. They have to approve them or deny them. However, an extended government shutdown would be like the one thing that it would be like the one thing that delays these decisions yet again. Anyways, I do not think that's going to happen. I'm just being real about what the ramifications would be. In other words, while Congress and the government focus on budget issues, crypto-related policy initiatives will likely remain on hold. Market scenarios anticipated. Experts and market observers have outlined multiple scenarios from this picture. In the short term, a potential shutdown could trigger sell-offs across crypto. Analysts have described a crypto rout where fear drives capital into safe haven assets such as stablecoins or Bitcoin, leading to sharp price swings among altcoins, of course. Let's see here.
Alvin says, I got a question for the chat. What altcoin do you regret investing in? For me, Link. Link is such a good project. It's so key to so many infrastructures. I understand it's like a stable coin, but it is a really good project.
I could never regret investing in Link. Look, my first Link purchase was probably higher than the price is now. However, guys, my average purchase was I've rotated out of it, but look,
Ted says, "Oh God, XCN."
My average purchase was $7. Can't complain about that, guys. And Link is one of the most solid buys in the game. I could never regret. I could never regret Link.
Well, and
even if I was down on it.
To Trent's point, I regret buying ECTA. I lost $75,000 in ECTA. It got rugged.
Yeah.
Link is a solid blue chip project. You don't have to worry about getting rugged on it.
Right.
Mine was very speculative, and granted, most of that was gains. But that's the point. That's what I'm making. If you regret buying Link, you just be glad you didn't get degen'd like me. I mean, I got crushed on Beam, and Beam wasn't even a scam token.
So here's the key sentence, guys, or the key paragraph. While there's a history of shutdowns, last-minute deals have often been reached in the United States. Moreover, the probability of a shutdown has declined from 78% to 66%, suggesting that the market still holds some confidence that a resolution can be found. And I do think that's what's going to happen. There are too many people that are far too invested in the outcome of a lot of crypto policy making coming up, and a lot of policy making in general. They're going to reach a deal. They just are, even if it takes a couple of days. Okay, like I'm not saying that 100% the shutdown won't happen, but they're gonna move past this, and it's going to be, in my opinion, the last very big bump in the road to an insane quarter 4 rally where I believe Bitcoin is headed to $165,000 in quarter 4. So, hey guys, if we get an extended cycle, Bitcoin can go to $250,000. Mark my words.
I agree with that. That's just going off of my own judgment on previous cycles, how I think it would react. Joe, just out of curiosity, on Varsity, VRA, you didn't happen to find that hidden gem from Crypto Lifer, did you? I remember him talking about a VRA token at one point in time. What's up, Meta?
When I think VRA, I think Video Ranking Academy from Think Media. You know, they have a really killer YouTube course. Actually,
did you see Connor's question about ADA?
Connor, where are you at, Connor? No, I mean I don't. Oh yeah, I see it. Do you guys think you guys do any ADA DeFi? I would like to earn more than the 2% staking if possible. Well, yeah. So, okay. In the past, I've done. Okay, look, the vast majority of my Cardano DeFi is the staking. I'll be honest. Like, you know, I've earned thousands of ADA in staking rewards because I have that much staked. I do get it that, you know, maybe if you Crypto Lifer is a good guy, but Narcissist kinda, yeah, it be that way sometimes, you know. And look, before I jump on the bandwagon and say, yeah, you know what, you're right about Sam. Before I jump on that bandwagon, I have to examine myself. You know, I can't look. You know, in the words of Jesus, I can't look to take the speck out of my brother's eye when I have when I have a log in my own eye. You know, so I've got to really hard look at things and ask myself, what kind of attitude would I carry if I was making $800,000 a month on my Discord?
I wouldn't change a bit, not one bit. I know a lot of people say that, but I'm the type of guy that I will never buy a Ferrari just because. I'm like, it's not my style. I'd rather buy something old school. I went to my brother's wedding in jeans and this t-shirt because that's what I liked. My wife's like, you should wear your suit. I'm like, that's fine. I don't care. That's just stuff. I mean, come on, guys. I'm finding stuff in the garbage and bringing it home. Not because I need it. I just like to do it, you know?
Well, and that's a good point. If we really, really wanted to, like, we could try to be dishonest about our real lives. Like, G-Square doesn't have to tell everyone that he drives a garbage truck for a living, which is
most people frown upon, by the way.
Which is a better job than you think it is. You know, it's a better job than I had washing semi-trucks. Like, so, you know, and anyways.
I can't wait, though. You know why I think it was a fluke I became a garbage guy, because I used to be a Boeing mechanic. and just how life events happened, and I wanted to stay pure blood. I ended up getting a job at.
By pure blood, he means he didn't want to take the vaccine.
Well, and I didn't. So I got fired, and then I got a job as a garbage man, which paid more, which allowed me to buy crypto. But doing this whole experience of the last several years of doing it, I'm like, man, it's gonna be super cool when freaking I never have to do it again. Because I'm never gonna forget where my roots were and help educate other people, including my own kids, and being like, hey, dude, look what I did. I was a garbage man. Look where I'm at now. You know, I'm teaching them and teaching other people what you are, your own potential to be able to do anything. If you don't, never have anybody tell you can't do it, because it's gonna be possible. It's all possible.
And that's the key, you know, like, and I hear what you're saying, CT. Like, that's what I'm trying to do is check myself ahead of time, you know, but I just think if I don't ask the question, or I'll say it this way, if I don't recognize that I have the same vice living inside of me somewhere, then there's a world in which I could end up sort of way too self-important, you know, and end up a little narcissistic, you know. And if I don't, you know, for the Desert Fathers in the year between like 300 and 500 AD, these were monks that basically lived in the desert, in solitude, in silence, and practiced spiritual disciplines to draw closer to God. The Desert Fathers, they would talk about the struggle between virtue and vice, and they would say that your biggest vice is also your biggest virtue. Right?
Hey.
So I don't want to name specific crypto YouTubers, but just think about them for a minute. And we've already named one in the chat. That's fine. You can think about him. You can think about another guy. But just think about it for a minute. If your biggest virtue is like this gift to help people and this gift to encourage people and spark a synergy among people when you speak, then guess what? That's also your biggest vice. Why is it your biggest vice? It's your biggest vice because you're going to draw your sense of identity from doing that. So what your virtue is also your vice, and you have to recognize that it dwells within you and in your flesh. But like you just said, CT, the gift of the Holy Spirit is so special. Greater is he who is in you than he who is in the world. So, you know,
Trent, I'm gonna go real quick. I don't want to cut you off, but I am gonna bounce, guys, because I have to spend some time with my wife and kids before it's 8 o'clock here, so it's not super late Pacific Standard Time.
Mm-hmm.
But you did say thank you, Calvin, for saying well said. If you guys would be interested if we hosted a poker game inside our Discord. You know, I see that CT says he plays professionally. I think it would be fun. I played a lot of poker. We ran poker tournaments for Pluto Alliance before we came over here. So if you guys are interested in this, let me know, because I will hook something up, you know, and we could probably take some of my BitFi kickbacks, guys. Usually it's all for the community, man. You guys bought me this mic. I'd love to host some money for a tournament. I think that'd be fun, but we'd have to get enough people to come play to make it worthwhile. But yeah, let me know, guys, if that's something you're interested in. All right, and on that note, I will be out, and you guys will see me tomorrow.
I'm still here for a little bit. So
I'm used to not just signing up for one person.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right, Team Square will see you guys later on the flip side. So yeah, guys. Anyways, I hear what you're saying, CT, though, because I watch that guy's live stream a lot, and I struggle with the same feeling. I get you. So now when it comes to the Caleb and Brown weekly roll up, guys, if you want this weekly news roll up dropped into your inbox, All you have to do is sign up, create an account with Caleb and Brown, link in the description below. You don't even have to deposit anything. It's completely free. You get this news roll up that recaps the week dropped in your inbox, and you can talk to a personal dedicated crypto broker for free. So here's some news. Bitcoin declined below 110K ahead of 18 billion US dollars September 26th options expiry. SharpLink Gaming to tokenize its stock on Ethereum. We have an ETF filing to track the performance of crypto treasury companies. US SEC announced that crypto innovation exemption will be exacted this year. Swift is working on a blockchain-based ledger for real-time cross-border payments. And the CFTC launched an initiative to permit tokenized collateral and derivatives markets. So, guys, recent strength in TradFi. Now, I'm going to just give some bullet points from all this. Okay, Powell's comments and strong data triggered a sell-off as the Fed rate cuts path grew less certain. That's not true. We're still getting 2 more rate cuts this year. That's what the data suggests. That's what the odds suggest. I'm not saying this is misleading. The path to rate cuts did grow less certain, okay? By 5%. It went from 90 to 85 and then back up a little. So, let's see. Q2 GDP revised to 3.8%, flash manufacturing PMI at 52, and jobless claims came $15,000 below forecast. Geopolitical risks are also weighing on assets. President Trump announced tariffs of 50% on kitchen cabinets. What's bigger to me than this is, added pressures include the risk of a U.S. government shutdown and Russian strikes on Kyiv in Ukraine. So, guys, is anyone else not worried, but is anyone else looking at the potential of war with Venezuela? Has anyone else seen that the United States is staging submarines and staging warships and military presence around Venezuela? Venezuela has a whole lot of oil. For such a small country, it has a lot of oil. And if we can use I'm not condoning this, but if we can use the excuse of their communist dictator government and what's going on in Venezuela to sort of go in and occupy, if we can use that as an excuse to take over their oil, I mean, come on. I'm not condoning that, but I'm saying there's reasons why people would want to do that. Okay, S&P down, Dow Jones down, NASDAQ down, all about 3%. Biggest gainer of the week, Layer 0 up 20%. This has to be biggest gainer in the top. I don't know. There's definitely some tokens that have grown far more than that. So it has to be within a certain sector. I don't know. Anyways, Bitcoin opens the week at $115,282 and sold off to a low of 108.6 as leveraged positions saw over $6 billion liquidated across the crypto market. And the September 26th options expiry caused volatility. The new week saw Bitcoin gain almost 2% on Monday, September 28th, as recent sell pressure subsided. Bitcoin dominance hovered between 57.9 and 59.2% this week. Bitcoin investment products saw $719 million US dollars worth of outflows this week. Short Bitcoin products didn't see an uptick in inflows, suggesting that weak sentiment is temporary. That's pretty important. A volatile week for crypto saw Bitcoin sell off amid over $6 billion in leveraged positions being liquidated and a record US $18 billion Bitcoin options expiry on Friday, September 26th. Bitcoin declined to 110 ahead of the options expiry, which was the max pain point for options traders. Guys, the max pain point is the price point where the most amount of puts and calls expire worthless. So price will always gravitate toward the max pain. Bitcoin's gains to start the new week suggest the recent sell pressure may have subsided. Ethereum opened the week at 44.47 and declined to a low of 38.25 on September 25th as crypto liquidations and the impending September options expiry caused selling pressure. The new week saw Ethereum regain some strength, gaining over 2% on Monday, September 29th. NASDAQ listed Ethereum treasury firm Sharplink Gaming will tokenize its U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission registered stock on Ethereum via Superstate's Opening Bell platform. Bitmine bought more ETH last week, bringing its total holdings to over 2.6 million ETH, worth over 11 billion US dollars, equating to over 2% of the ETH supply. This is why Bitmine is the micro strategy of Ethereum. The altcoin season index remained below 75 last week as selling pressure caused a pullback across most crypto assets. A handful of cryptocurrencies made gains of over 20%, while the remainder of the market hovered between losses of around 13% and gains of below 19% as the recent sell-off subsided throughout the weekend. Crypto ETF news. Okay, I don't see anything. All right, so I'm going to cut this short because I do have some charts to get into. Let's see here. Check in on the comments real quick. I have an option short open. Who knows if I messed up? Expires 10/10. Dang. There's good evidence Venezuela changed the outcome of the 2020 election via voting machines. Venezuela? I always heard that not you says U.S. been trying to control them for about 80 years, some say. Wow. Welcome in, do not you. Stay hydrated. No, it wouldn't be much of a war. Well, that's true, Ted. It would not be much of a war, but Venezuela's allies are China and Russia. Exactly how much they would come to Venezuela's aid, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to further educate myself on the geopolitical landscape. But, you know, can you do some TA on open, please? Yeah, I'll do that. Got you. I'm going to head over here to TradingView. Share this tab instead. We'll go to Bitcoin first. And today's kind of a weird, flow for the show. So to save a little bit of time, I'm going to go over to our Discord. Link in the description if you want to get in the Discord. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually walk you through my whole stream of consciousness that I posted in the Discord this afternoon. And I'm going to start off our TA that way. Okay, so the first thing I posted, let me make sure I'm on the screen. Okay. Let me expand it for you guys. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. Bitcoin weekly inverse head and shoulders pointing to $165,000. So we see there on the weekly chart that we have an inverse head and shoulders, a breakout from the neckline, a retest of the neckline, and a measured move target to $165,000. the stochastic RSI is low on the weekly chart, and RSI is neutral. So there's a lot of room ahead of us to run on the weekly. And again, that measured move is 165K. I think that we see that or somewhere close to there in Q4 of this year. The question remains, do we get an extended cycle or an elongated cycle, whatever you want to call it? In that event, we could, I can see us flying up to 250 after a retrace. But I do think that Q4 of this year, we're headed to 165K for Bitcoin. Next up, we've made a very strong bounce, much stronger than the previous bounce, actually, with a higher low and a quick move off of the Fibonacci golden pocket. So we made a strong bounce, right? The previous bounce off of the Fibonacci golden pocket was the move that we got down here at $107,000, right? When we made that bounce off of about 107K, this is the daily chart. It took us 1, 2, 3, 4 candles before we bounced, and the bullish candle that we got on the bounce brought us up to 0.5. So the Fibonacci golden pocket exists between 0.5 and 0.618. Okay, when we bounced off of 107K, all we did really was we bounced from 0.618 to 0.5. We actually rejected off of 0.5 a little bit. So we were underneath, or we were within the golden pocket between 0.5 and 618 for a total 0.618 for a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, about 14 days. Guys, for about 2 weeks, we were trading. The daily candle at some point within the candle was trading within the Fibonacci golden pocket before we bounced out. Guys, this time we retested the golden pocket. We did have a very strong red candle when we dumped into it, but we had a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 candles, not 14, but 4 candles within the Fibonacci golden pocket. And today's candle actually ripped right above the golden pocket and right up to the next level. So, and we actually, we closed back above the 21 moving average. So pretty impressive stuff for Bitcoin. Next up, let me check in with the comments real quick. Remember that Bitcoin Genesis block, the one with the NYT newspaper headline about the government shutdown? That's true. Yeah. I am going to go back on TradingView to 2008 here in a few moments. So, next up, I was worried about an invalidation of the daily inverse head and shoulders below 110.8. However, a right shoulder was able to hold above the head. It's slanted, it's not the prettiest, but it can still do the job. Kind of like T-square. Slanted, not the prettiest, but he still does the job. Either way, my target toward 130K by mid-October. By the way, that is my target. $130,000 by mid-October. That target never changed for me because even though, even without the inverse head and shoulders, you can still draw a parallel channel that gets you there. It is a great sign, however, that the pattern held. So that inverse head and shoulders, I'll zoom in on it. It won't let me zoom in anymore. But it's slanted. It's not the prettiest. The right shoulder is kind of like, dipping below the left shoulder a little bit. But nevertheless, price action made a higher low, and therefore it made a right. You can still call that a right shoulder. So next up, we had the on the day of the rate cuts, we saw a rally on the U.S. 10-year Treasury yield. The amount of money that the market is willing to accept as a yield on bonds went up, when it should go down after a rate cut. This means that investor fear related to the strength of the dollar outweighed investor confidence in the Fed to control inflation. Markets like certainty, and I believe risk assets stumbled after this. Remember, anywhere between 8 to 20-day correction after a Fed pivot is normal. This rally on the US 10Y, the 10-year US yield, seems to have fizzled and made a lower high, and some degree of certainty is returning to the market. So, here's the scoop on that. Well, what happened here is that the day of the Fed rate cuts, I circled the candle right there. The US 10-year yield, the Treasury, the 10-year Treasury note on bonds, it rallied after the rate cuts. It's supposed to go down after rate cuts, but it rallied. What does that tell you? Number one, it signals uncertainty in the markets, and that led to a dip on Bitcoin last week. Now, the other thing that it signaled was that investor fear in the market is greater. Investor fear related to the strength of the dollar was greater than investor confidence in the Fed to control inflation. So because of that, we saw a dip. However, that rally on the US 10-year yield is fizzling out. So it's made a lower low, and I believe that confidence is returning to the market. Here's the next one. So right here, we have a hidden bullish divergence. We have this on the RSI as well. But on Saturday's stream, I did something interesting, and this was the first time that I ever thought about this. Okay. What I thought about on Saturday was that if you use the line chart on the greed index instead of the RSI, it tells you the same thing from a different angle, right? What is hidden bullish divergence? Well, classic hidden RSI bullish divergence, or hidden bullish RSI divergence, tells you that even as momentum makes a lower low, the price held a higher low. Okay? Price held a higher low even as momentum is going down, which means how much further down does momentum have to go in order to make the price reach a lower low, right? It's hidden bullish divergence. It signals the continuation of an uptrend. Now, if you use the fear and greed index, we see the same thing, a hidden bullish divergence, meaning as more and more fear entered the market, the price maintained a higher low. More fear entered the market, the price did not make a lower low. Okay, so as fear reached a lower low, the fear was actually bought up before the price could make a lower low. Okay, so how much more fear needs to come into the market in order to make the price reach a lower low? Okay, so we have this hidden bullish divergence. Whether you use fear or momentum, it's actually the same thing, right? The continuation of an uptrend. Let's see here. Okay, last but not least, I'll make this one very quick and to the point. Gold Gold has been rallying to new all-time highs over and over and over again. Okay? Now, gold, like fashion to the global M2 money supply, gold rallies often precede a Bitcoin rally. Now, gold has the highest monthly RSI that it's had in, if you want to be really technical, the monthly RSI on gold, I'll flip over to TradingView and show you this, because this is really, really interesting. XAU against USD. Share this tab instead. The monthly RSI on gold is at 90. That's the 3-day. Sorry, let me go to the monthly. The monthly RSI on gold is at 90. Guys, look how far away this candle is from the 21-month moving average. It's unsustainable. The monthly RSI on gold is at 90. Guys, the last time that monthly RSI on gold was at 90 was in 1980. There it is right there. In 1980. If we want a closer one, monthly RSI on gold got up to 86 or 87 in 2008. So it's the highest monthly RSI in like 15 years on gold. The stochastic RSI, the faster moving momentum oscillator, is already starting a trek downward. My premise is that this liquidity is going to flow out of gold and into Bitcoin, because gold rallies often precede Bitcoin, just like the global M2 money supply. So, that's something to consider here. Breezy, what's going on? Good to see you here. So monthly RSI on gold is at 90, the highest that it's been in 15 years. Gold rallies precede Bitcoin rallies, just like the global M2 money supply, right? So Ted Dorton says, "I hope some flows into silver." You're a silver bug, Ted? Let us know in the Discord. Also, if you guys are staying hydrated out there, post your pictures in the Discord. Let's see here. Okay, who asked for... All right, that's the December 2008. Someone said that about the last government shutdown, right? December 10th, 2018. But, yeah, the Bitcoin Genesis block, the paper headline was about the government shutdown in 2008. Does coffee count? Hey, coffee counts, yeah. And coffee is also a brew. Also, we don't discriminate here on the Blockchain Brew Show. We don't discriminate about what kind of liquid we like. So, it all counts. You're all welcome. So, let's see here. We're going to go back to December 10th, 2018 on the Bitcoin chart. We go to the daily time frame, reset my chart. All right, and I'm going to do this by using the calendar here. December 10th, December 10th. 10th, 2018. Give me 1 second. Sorry here. Maybe it's the drunken TA that's getting to me. Definitely not financial advice. All right. 2018, December 10th. Got you. For a minute there, I was worried I was about to remind myself of a certain influencer that could never use TradingView. If you know, you know. Connor says, think you could chart Mamo. I'm really hoping it hits 0.05. Got you. Yeah, I'll do that, and I'll do open. I'll do both of those here in a second. December 10th, 2018. Okay, so our last real government shutdown, we go to December 10th, 2018, to the bottom. It was a 10% drop. A 10% drop, and it took us 6 days to get there. So that's a very real possibility. You know, guys, like just because we're getting October does not mean that the first week of October, breezy, it does not mean that the first week of October is going to explode. The calendar turns October 1 and we pump. It doesn't work that way, right? Like in 2018, the last government shutdown, we saw a 10% dip over the course of 8 days in the aftermath of the shutdown. That's a very real possibility. A 10% dip from right here is $11.4 thousand. I'm just gonna tell you guys, I do not see that happen. Not financial advice. Again, drunken TA is never financial advice. However, I really don't see that happening. You know, for reasons that we've gone over on the show at length already, right? The golden pocket, we've had a much, much stronger bounce off of the 0.5 to 0.618 Fibonacci golden pocket. We've had a much stronger bounce on this retest than we did off of the first test at 107K. We're forming an inverse head and shoulders on the daily and on the weekly, right? Stochastic RSI is low. I do not see us dropping $11,000. Maybe on a wick if something really extreme happens. You can never say never, but my bad, it was December 22nd, 2018. Let me see here. Well, that's even less consequential because all it did there was like create a bull pennant and then kind of tried to break out of that bull pennant and then dropped and then consolidated in a very long channel. Part of the reason that none of this matters is that, this was the depth of a bear market. This was the depth of a bear market before the changing of cycles, right? So I don't, it's hard to evenly apply it, but also I wonder how many days did the government actually shut down in 2018, right? I'm just gonna Google that real quick. How many days did the government shut down in 2018? Okay, so it lasted 3 days. We had a 3-day government shutdown in 2018, and the price basically did nothing during that time in a bear market. So, I don't know. If we go to 2008, we can't go to 2008 on Bitcoin because there was no price history, obviously. So we have 2018 is what we have to work from, and a 3-day shutdown gave us sideways action. Interestingly enough, now that I think about it, it was a 3-day shutdown. That was the January. $30 days? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I see it now. 35 days from December 22nd to January 25th. Why did this happen? Because it says the longest shutdown in U.S. history was triggered by a stalemate over President Donald Trump's demand for $5.7 billion US dollars in federal funds for a wall on the U.S.-Mexico border. Okay. Of course it was the wall. Now, this was a partial shutdown. Impact. The partial shutdown affected 9 executive departments, leaving approximately 800,000 federal employees either furloughed or working without pay. Resolution. It ended when President Trump signed a 3-week funding measure that did not include funding for the wall. But again, when we go back to the price, that was about 30 candlesticks worth of sideways action. There's just, in my opinion, there's no way that we're going to see that. I don't know. There's too many things. There's too many things that Trump's administration has been working toward. There's too many things that a new SEC and a new CFTC under Trump, and that's just the financial implications. What about the Department of Defense, which has been renamed to the Department of War, right? What about? There's a whole host of implications here that I don't think that Trump is going to want a 30-day shutdown. I don't think that Republicans. It's also not entirely up to Trump either. Like, this issue here is about budget. Trump does not have something nearly as massive as the building of the wall sitting in the way of this shutdown. So, guys, I think it's going to be over sooner rather than later, in my opinion. Again, the odds on Polymarket dropped from 78% to 66% in recent days. The odds have not increased, they've diminished. So the likelihood is diminishing day by day, to the point where if we get a shutdown that lasts a couple days, I think that's the worst case scenario. Let's see here. Mamo I'm going to go in order. Mamo and open. Okay, I'll start with open first. This just came out, right? Let me go to the 4-hour chart. Well, I mean, I'm going to tell you right away on the 4-hour chart, RSI is at 16. I mean, it's so low it can hardly go any lower. RSI and stochastic RSI, the Stokes are at -1 and RSI is at 15. So me personally, I don't understand where you find the momentum to go any lower than this. Now that's on the oscillators. That doesn't mean that the price can't go lower. Like, look, the MACD just crossed bearish on the 4-hour. Could it go lower? Yeah. Do you have any real volume to draw a support line? You don't. So in many ways, this is price discovery to the downside. Just look at it. There's no volume. There's no volume to draw a support line off of. Because I have a short on open to 650. Yeah, it expires on 10/10. Oh, sorry about that. I was just basically saying that it's price discovery to the downside. The reason why is you don't have any previous trading history at these levels, except for this one huge candle when it launched. So a lot of times when you see a launch like this, what also happens is it just slowly grinds all the way back down to the bottom even. So I don't know, you have price discovery to the downside, but the flip side of that is what happens oftentimes when you see price discovery to the upside. We say, hey, we just entered price discovery, but that's literally the top. Think about the last time Bitcoin tapped 124K. Price discovery, but it was the top. So that could be the case here, like price discovery to the bottom, but it could be the bottom. So the RSI and the stochastic RSI on the 4-hour, I mean, I'm curious what your entry was. I'm curious what your entry was here, because I mean, there's a very good chance that this gets a bounce. Like, I don't think this looks like this doesn't look like the chart of a good project, of a solid project, but the RSI and the Stokes suggest to me that we could get a bounce. And that's the only thing that I have to go off of, because there's literally no trading history at these levels. So if I had too much money sitting in this trade, I would be scared. That's just me. Oh, open is a stock. Okay. Got you. Okay, that's okay. We can do that. Let's see. Stocks. Open. Okay, it's a tech stock. This looks more like it. Okay, got you. So you have a short down here too. $6.50 is your target. It expires on the 10th, you said? Yeah, 10/10. So it expires on the 10th. I'm going to draw a horizontal line at $6.50. I'm going to circle 10/10. So the question is, do we bounce before then on open? The daily chart is still above the 21 moving average. This is on the daily, this is still making higher lows. And the stochastic RSI is very low on the daily. This could bounce. Like, do you have the no pun intended, do you have the option to close this early? Because I don't doubt that you could get near that price. I have to adjust my mindset, dude. This doesn't move as fast as crypto. Okay, the stochastic RSI is curving down. It's taking a sharp point down. The RSI, if you look at it real closely, is curving over. And the MACD is opening up very strong to the downside on the daily. I go back to the 4-hour. You know, we're below the 21. It suggests that we can definitely go here to the 50. We've already been in this range once before. The 4-hour failed to make a higher high. The 4-hour made a lower high. Lower highs and higher lows is consolidation. That consolidation can sort of grind down this way with the 21 curving over. And on the 4-hour, the stochastic RSI has room to the downside to fall, and it's curving. Okay. So all of those signs to me point to the fact that, yeah, it could head down toward those levels. He said, yes, I can. I'm in small profit. He says, I'd hold it and see if we dump on government shutdown. That's true. I'm in small profit, but part of me wants to keep it. So many dummies in that stock. It's a Wall Street bet stock. Okay, so if it's a Wall Street bet stock, it can move kind of like crypto. Yeah, I mean, we failed to make a higher high on the 4-hour. Set a stop loss. Set a stop loss where at the amount that you're comfortable losing. That's my advice. And then hold it. Because we do have a government shutdown coming. You know, Ted, I mean, we do have some government shutdown drama coming. To what extent it shuts down, we don't know. So, there you go. Let's see, what else did we have in the chat here? We had open and what else? Memo, right? Memo for Connor. Mamo. Okay, so Connor wanted me to take a look at Mamo. Take a look at XCN if you get a chance. I just won out of profit. Got you, Ted. So Mamo made a very strong, it made a strong move up here, got rejected at the 200 moving average. But since then, it's retraced, it's made a higher low. That's not hidden bullish divergence because the RSI didn't make a lower low. But now we do see, even through this dump, the 21 moving average continued to curve up, right? And we see the 21 has crossed the 50. It's got a lot of work to do. But the stochastic RSI is as low as can be. Look, if you're managing your risk well, if you're not at 20x leverage, even if you're at 10x leverage, can this thing drop 10%? Sure, why not? So can this thing drop 10%? Well, that is previous support. It's not quite previous support. It's a little bit below. It's a little bit below this range of volume right here. But if you're anything above 10x, you get 11, 12, 13x. Now you're at the point where all you have to do is come down within the previous range. Granted, you're hanging off of the cliff of this VRVP right here, this volume node. You're teetering on the cliff of it. You're playing a dangerous game, right? However, the stochastic RSI is very, very low. So if it was going to catch support at any point, it might catch here. If it doesn't, and you're at 13x leverage, you're in danger zone already, right? So the question is, what is your risk exposure like? If you're on 5x, then yeah, look, it has to lose this volume node. It has to fall through this trading range. It has to get the 21 period moving average to curve over. And it has to do all of that while the stochastic RSI is near zero. So I don't necessarily, and I wonder what your entry point is. I don't hate along from down here in this range, but it depends on how much leverage you're using, and it depends on on risk tolerance. So that's what I'd say about that. XCN, Onyx Coin. We look at the daily. I've charted this before for somebody. And look what I did. I drew this this huge descending channel right here with a breakout. Yeah, it didn't reach the measured move, but it got halfway up to it. So if you were taking profits, then that was a good call. What do I see it doing now? I mean, it's just hard to tell. The stochastic RSI is low, but it's like pointing downward, and it can go lower. And if you lose, you're teetering on the edge of a point where if you lose it, there's more pain. There's more pain probably coming down to about here, just based on the VRVP. Which, what would that do? That would actually give, a macro higher low. But man, if you're entering from anywhere in here, like, it's tough. I don't like what I see on this coin, personally. Like, look, a lot of large caps are above the 200-day moving average, right? XRP, Cardano, Solana, SWE are all above the 200-day moving average. And you have, lesser known, less significant coins like this that are well below the 200-day moving average, and they're struggling to even get above the 21. Yes, when they do pump, they're going to pump, but I don't know when that is any more than you do. And there is still significant downside risk at this point. Like, imagine we do get a shutdown for even a day, right? And Bitcoin holds through it okay, but that's Bitcoin. Imagine what something like this coin could do. I mean, it could fly back down to these bottoms faster than you realize. And maybe it shoots up in the long term, but just be careful trading this, because you don't want to get caught up in this move and get liquidated. No one likes to get licked. Oh, I wasn't taking profits, I was just buying more. Got you. Yeah, no one wants to get licked though, Hey, unless you're into that sort of thing. But keep that in your own bedroom. Out here in the public discourse, no one likes to get licked, right? If you like to get licked, then get licked in your bedroom. But, don't come take that out here onto crypto YouTube. We don't like to see each other get licked, okay? Buying more, yeah, Ted, if you're DCAing into this and you have conviction in the project, yeah, it becomes a very different question. If you're DCAing into this and you have conviction in the utility of the project, then I would zoom out to the weekly chart in that instance, and I would say that this is some form of a falling wedge here. I would say it's moving into very strong support. And stochastic RSI on the weekly is under the dotted line. Yeah, I mean, if I had conviction in this project, I'd be DCAing at this level. So that's my thought. Stochastic RSI is under the dotted line on the weekly, and it's above very obvious critical support. Like, look, this green range that I drew on lower time frames without even knowing it, without even looking at the weekly, what happened when we lost it? It was nothing but pain. And look what happened the moment we got over it. We we ripped. We had to consolidate after. It's been painful, but it's still above that. Now it's building substantial volume above that level. And because it's building substantial volume above that level, we have greater reason to think that the level will hold. So, yeah, I would be DCAing into it if I were you as well. Hey, what's up, Shara? Oh, I'm not bought too high. I hate it. Oh, well, if you hate it, then keep hating it. I don't know. if you're looking for a short, like the way that I hate Polkadot, I wouldn't bet on shorting it unless I saw it lose that range. So, I don't know. What is up, Chara? Good to have you in here. So I am about to end, though. Let's see. Good to have everyone in here, though. As far as Cardano news, quick Cardano spotlight here. Let me change my banner. As far as Cardano news, remember we do have Grayscale spot Cardano ETF is up for approval on October 7th, and pending that the government shutdown doesn't put a wrench in that, then hey, if the government is up and running before October 7th, we should see this thing approved. And other than that, Midnight has extended the claim period on the Night token for another 16 days. And again, I do think that all of this is strategic. It's not only strategic, they are trying to give people more time to claim because it's been very successful so far, and they don't want to see people get left out. But there's also some strategy involved with this. I appreciate that, Chara. Even just smashing the like button, I appreciate it. So yeah, when we, even on when it comes to the Midnight claim, it's also strategic. They want this thing launched, or they want the next phase of this rolling out as the bull run is lifting off. This was not haphazardly planned, right? So you have to take that into consideration. And yeah, Cardano community going strong. And yeah, I'm going to sign off. Thank you for being part of the most hydrated crypto community on YouTube. Cheers. A quick word on XRP, your thoughts. Well, I mean, I think that we've bottomed on Bitcoin pending a retest of 111. Even through this pain, look, we've tapped the 21. We've tapped the 21-week moving average on XRP, so I kind of see something like this. A bull pennant on the weekly. Bringing this up to about $5. So, and we're consolidating this bull pennant right above the 21-week moving average. Stochastic RSI as well. I think it's a great time for a swing long, in my opinion. So there you go. Thank you guys for being part of the Brew Crew, the most hydrated crypto community on YouTube. Also, check out our link in the description with BYDeFi. You get a $1,000 bonus for depositing $5,000. and you get a range between a 60% bonus to a 20% bonus based on how much you deposit. And you also get access to our VIP signals in the Discord if you fund your BYD5 futures account with at least $100. So there you go. Super hydrated every day. Thanks, Do Not You. Thank you, Chara. Thank you, CT. Thank you, Do Not You. Thank you, Ted. Thank you, Breezy. Thank you, Connor. Thank you, Calvin. Thank you, Joe from Trade Intuition. Thank you, Muffhead. Thank you, Amelia. And if I missed everyone, my apologies. Stay hydrated. Cheers.